Okay. Tough stream just dropped. Friday night stream. I haven't streamed on Friday night in many Fridays. Gotta be at least 5 Fridays. How's everybody doing? We're doing a ranking stream because I needed to see what the whole agency thought of everything going on. So we're doing an item ranking stream, which I said I would do. I think after the last stream, or maybe I thought of it recently. I don't remember. But all I know is I was on a walk and I thought to myself, it's time for the item stream. My dog is here with me, but she keeps crying. She, what's it called? Misses my family. They just left. Oh shit. Give me 1 second. I return stream. I have to go calm my dog down. You know what I'm saying? You've been there before. But we got all these items here. This whole list has 150 items, which is definitely more than are even competitively relevant. But we'll still, you know what I'm saying, talk about all of them. Let me just post this to Twitter. Okay. But yeah, I was really thinking about it today, because I've done some ranking videos in the past, but I haven't done it for items. And I feel like items is really, like, there's a lot of good stuff. There's mad variety when it comes to items and different stuff that got introduced even in just recently Gen 9. Shout out to Lonely Litten 94 for the sub. Appreciate it. I don't know what my current member and other thing is. I gotta open up Streamlabs. That should probably went down a little bit. Yeah, I probably will. Shout out Sweets in the chat. I probably will put the resist berries too, because there are some pretty relevant resist berries. They got the Shuka berry. They got the Cobra berry. Those are like two big ones. You used to see the Chopo berry back in the day. The Chopo berry took a hit. Any real Chopo fans in the chat right now? Are there any real Chopo berry fans in the chat? Let me know. I'm a real Chopo berry fan. When I have that Chopo berry Gyro Ball Fairthorn, I know I'm going in. I'm super going in. I'm a real Chopo berry enjoyer. I'm a super Shuka berry enjoyer. I used to put that on my what's the word? What's that guy's name? Tapu Koko. I used to stay spamming it on my Tapu Koko. I had a counter team with Shuka berry Bisharp in Gen 7, or maybe it was Gen 8. That team was bad, but it had a Shuka berry Bisharp. So that means Landers T comes in. I'm getting off the noob gut. It's over. Nah, I'm a Cobra enjoyer too. Cobra's definitely cheap. They be putting it on the G King. The Yachi berry hasn't been seen since the Cold War. We haven't seen that berry come out in 70 years. When's the last time we saw the Yachi berry? I'd never see that shit. You see that shit in like Gen 6 on a Garchomp. That might be like the most recent gen you'll ever see that shit in. You're not seeing that shit on in Gen 7. You're not seeing that shit. You could probably run that shit in Gen 8 for Ice Shard, Weavile, or something like that. Yachi berries definitely fell off though. There was a time when that shit used to be the berry. That shit used to be the berry. None of them was fucking with that berry. That was the craziest one. But anyways, there's so many items. This will probably be a difficult one to rank. Yeah, I think this is probably gonna be tough. This is how I put the tiers. I put A, B, C in the middle, or whatever, A, B, C, D. You know, just based on like good to like not that good. And then S will be like the GOAT items. Like these items, the whole metagame revolves around these items. And then F doesn't exist in competitive, because there's definitely gonna be some items on here which don't get seen in competitive. Like I think this is the absorb bulb. They don't be using that. They don't be doing that. They don't be doing that. So I gotta get rid of that. What is this? Ability shield? That shit actually has some type of relevance. People haven't tapped into the ability shield yet. Boots has no downside. Boots is definitely a meta defining item. Boots makes all the fat shit so fat and so annoying. But you know what really is horrible? When you play the greedy leftovers Dondozo and they got leftovers. I'm telling you, bro. The greedy leftovers Dondozo, that shit is OP. Every now and then you'll run into a stall or a fat team and they'll have that and it'll feel like 2 Dondozos. That shit'll really feel like 2 Dondozos. I played against the leftovers Blissey before too. Good God. Good God almighty. The special attacks were already doing 12%. Now they're doing 6%. Nah, that shit's evil. Ability shield versus neutralizing gas. What happens? If you have ability shield on your Golden Go and you run into wheezing, you will stop that wheezing. So you will stop that wheezing from being able to defog. If you were to use ability shield on your gold, you would be able to lock in. You know what I'm saying? You'd be able to lock in and handle that. You know, the choice scarf, that used to be the item. This used to be, you needed one of these on every team. Gen 4 through 7, playing without a scarfer? You must be crazy. Man, now the scarfer role has completely fallen off. You see a very rare occasional scarfer. Like a Val or Enamorous, because those are like win cons in Enamorous's case specifically. But we even used to see Scarf Roaring Moon. But like now you can run a booster. You could have a sun team with that sun walking wake. You know what I'm saying? Mad mods be dragon dancing. So much dragon dancing. That Scarf Lando, Scarf Latios angle, you just had to be there for that time period. If you were there for that, you know. If you know, you know. There was a time when we were seeing that Scarf Keldeo. We used to see Scarf Bisharp Pursuit. Very, very rarely. I remember I had a team in Gen 6. Scarf Bisharp Pursuit. Assault Vest. Man, good times. But Scarf Tyranitar Pursuit. Scarf used to be that item. Playing without Scarf? Nah, you used to have to be a fool to do that. Playing without Scarf, you used to get laughed at. Posting team with no Scarf, you used to deadass get laughed at. Even back in Gen 5, what was that guy? Garchomp? Everybody be scarfing that Garchomp back in the day. That shit used to sweep me all the time. I would always run these greedy ass offense teams, and Garchomp would come in with fucking bitch ass 102 speeds here. I would speed everybody. All setup guys get pegged up by Garchomp. Garchomp was too tough. Scarf, oh, Scarf Lele, that's a good one. Nah, Scarf is for sure A. And if it was like all generations, then Scarf might just be S, because Scarf really was that shit. Scarf was so beautiful. It's crazy. I actually used the Scarf Pult in the tournament before. That shit was okay. It could have been better. It could have been worse. So we take it. Nah, Scarf, I might have to put Scarf in the all meta. Nah, I'm just going to put defining items. Actually, I can still put meta defining items. This is going to be all items. Because I'm going to be honest, the Scarf is too crazy. The Scarf is too crazy. You gotta talk about the impact. You feel me? The impact. These are some crazy items. Choice Scarf, it belongs on every team. Band and Specs are or whatever. Like those will always be subjective to your team, like based on what kind of breaking you need. But Scarf, back in the day, Scarf was mandated. So booster energy is the craziest item. But if we really think about it, how many mons abuse booster? We got Raging Bolt, Iron Valiant, Iron Moth. Those are like the big three, I think. A lot of other booster mons. I mean, you see Tusk occasionally, but those are like the three that are like always boosted up, I think. Val, Moth, and Raging Bolt. Because you see like a, what's it called? Like a Walking Wake, but that's just going to be on Sun. And then Tusk, you don't see attack booster that much. Booster Crown, Calm Mind is pretty good. I've lost to that before. I can't lie. I've lost to the booster Calm Mind Crown. Terra Fight, that shit is a big ass threat. I've definitely lost to that before. That shit's a problem. Band should get S tier because of swag. Band is up there, bro. Band is like, I mean, nowadays, Band, you don't see it as much, but you can still have some good shit like Choice Band Scizor. Band Knight fell off completely. It had its time in Gen 8 though. I mean Gen 9 though. Shout out Sub Punch. Assault Vest is up there. Nah, Band is tough. I'm not gonna lie. I might have to put all these shits. Specs is more of a greedy item. Specs had less utility than Band. Band is like OP. Band fits on like everything. You could band everybody, but Specs is only for true winners like Dragapult. You know what I'm saying? Tapu Lele, Greninja, Ash Greninja, and then Gen 6 had some Specs users too. But Specs is some greedy shit. I would put Specs below both of these, to be honest. Band is too easy. You know what I'm saying? Band, and also Banded Mons get all the shice priority moves too. I think the Scarf and the Band just barely are better than the Specs. That's what I think. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty damn sure. I like using Specs. I'm using Specs Latios every game ever. But Specs is definitely more constricting than these two. That bandage shit is super easy. Specs is tough though. It could be an argument to put it at the end of this, but I'll come back to it. Leftovers. Oh man. That was the shit. Generation. Oh man. Leftovers is that item, man. Although the last two generations we've seen a tough hit for Leftovers. But that's a S rank item. Can't go wrong. You know, back in the day it was like, if you play against a Heatran, and even now, this could still be a way to deal with Heatran, you gotta knock off that Heatran. Because otherwise it's gonna live forever. Leftovers on any grassy terrain team needs to be Gigaband. Oh shit, remember the Melmetal's back in Gen 8? Click and protect. Getting back 25% HP? Hell no! That was fucked up. Oh, and protect Spadef Garchomp. That was another guy that was up to no good. That shit was actually up to no good. I hated that Spadef Chomp. That shit was like Gliscor of Gen 8. Oh my goodness. Spadef Chomp with Toxic Protect? Nah, that shit was so annoying. Leftovers on Garg? Oh my god. Protect Leftovers Garg? Get that shit out of here. Cloak. Cloak we only see on like super rare Pokemon. You don't see it on Gold much anymore, but there is the occasional team. I saw it on a Rotom in tournament, and the Rotom still lost to Garganacl in the long run, which was crazy because he only had 8 Hydro Pumps, right? So Garg beats that. I seen it on Cresselia in the past. Calm Mind. Nobody be running Cloak because all the other items you can use are so much better and greedier. I would put Cloak in like C rank or end of B, but we'll put it in B for now. What is this? Is this a Icy Rock? My bad. Or is this the Icy Rock? Yo, what's this? My bad. Some of these items I really don't know. What is this? damp rock. Okay. Damp rock is pretty shy. You need that super rain in Gen 7, 8, and 9. This is Dialga's item. I thought this was Dialga's item. So these are the same item? Alright, whatever. Got me fucked up. I'm confused now. Let's talk about Black Sludge. They're both Dialga's item? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Actually, let's talk about the air balloon. The air balloon is so tough. The air balloon is so tough. I would honestly put this item in the end of A rank, but a lot of people will say I'm crazy for that. But the air balloon is so crazy. Nah, the balloon Heatran, stop capping. Stop capping. Air balloon Heatran has swept many of you. Not to mention, this is Gold's #1 item on that hazard cheese. Nah, air balloon is goated in every... Dude, in Black and White OU these days, they run air balloon on Jellicent and air balloon on Starmie, because then they can switch into Excadrill. And I remember back in the day, running that air balloon Excadrill all the time. Oh, man. Chicken on a balloon, Blaziken on a balloon, you're fucked. You're fucked. Oh, yeah, balloon Tinkaton, and then it steals the item. I forgot about that. Air Balloon King Gambit, that shit makes me so fucking tight, bro. That shit lives every move. I love Air Balloon King Gambit. Are there any Air Balloon King Gambit enjoyers in here? If you enjoy that shit, you like cheese. That shit is premium cheese tactics. Air Balloon King Gambit is so cheap. Air Balloon Magnet Rise Drill. That's a fact. That's a fact. Air Balloon is so funny, bro. I played CTC a while ago, and he had Air Balloon Hatterene, and that shit walled my Garchomp completely. I was like, bro, what am I supposed to do? You got a whole counter team to my shit. Air Balloon Hatterene, he was locked in. That was a crazy move. I mean, crazy item. But yeah, Air Balloon can work on like every single Pokemon. It really doesn't matter. I remember one of the first teams I had in Generation 5 when I had my in-game and I was playing Triple Battle. It was an Air Balloon Whimsicott with Encore. Even though that shit already resists EQ, I wanted to really bait them into it. It was some real crazy shit. Shout out Pyrotic Blaziken. Air Balloon Rotom Fan is Parmesan levels. Nobody's using that. Nobody be looking for Rotom Fan. I'm a fan of Rotom Fan. No pun intended. But that Air/75 base power, it ain't easy. We seen better days. It ain't easy. Black Sludge. Where would we put Black Sludge? Black Sludge is tough on Glow King. It's like about it. We don't really see Black Sludge like that. People are pussy when it comes to running Black Sludge, because they think, oh my god, what if I get tricked and outplayed? Nah, you're bad. You're bad. Nobody uses Black Sludge anymore, but Black Sludge had its time, man. It had its time. I just drafted Rotom Fan and Godly Gift. Give it an HP stat and it's actually great. Yo, shouts to Godly Gift. Shout out to Sweets for 3 months. Godly Gift can make anything tough. That's one of the best OMs ever. I actually watched a tournament game for that recently. But Necrozma Duskmane swept, so it wasn't that hype. What are we looking at next? Black Sludge Bisharp is a threat. You're right. A lot of you are right about that, you know? Can't forget about Black Sludge Bisharp. Alright, what else? What is this? Are any of these relevant? Tell me if I pass over some relevant shit, let me know. Graduated college a week ago and it still don't feel real. Shout out to Crosshair for 11 months. Shout out to everybody who graduated or finished school. Or just finished the year, the semester, whatever the case is. Congratulations though. That's always hype. AV's right there. Facts. This is Damp Rock. Type shit. The Damp Rock's important, I'm not gonna lie. If you don't have the Damp Rock, your rain is gonna be whack. Nowadays people run that Specs Pelipper cheese, but it's pretty important. It's pretty important, right? You basically need all these shits all the time. Otherwise your rain build is not gonna be fire. I would say this is less important than the Heat Rock and the Ice Rock if you were to, you know, attempt to. But I would say this is less important because Rain can actually get away with Specs Pelipper. but like you'll never see Ninetales or Torkoal not running the Heat Rock. You can actually get away with Specs Pelipper style range, so that's why I would put that shit in C. But Sun is like, you need that shit, or your Sun is not gonna work. Also, the guys on Sun are so much stronger. Rain fell off. Rain been off for a minute. Rain fell off a while ago. I'm not gonna hold you, but it's still, I don't know, it's tough. It's hard. It's really hard for me to say with Rain. Shout out to user225. Haven't heard from CTC in a minute. Hope brother's doing well. Nah, he is doing well. I just talked to CTC the other day. We were talking about some stupid shit. I gotta play Elden Ring Night Rain with him. I need to tap in with him. They gotta bring Megapert back and allow him to Terra. Just him? Just Megapert? Just that one guy? This is the Icy Rock, right? The Icy Rock is only used on one team, which is that occasional Arctazole Hail. Is this Icy Rock or is this some other shit? It is Icy Rock, right? Or did y'all say this was Dialga's fucking item and I tweaked? Oh, that's the Dialga one? Alright. I don't even know what this is. What is this? The Freeze Berry? Which berry is this? I think it's the Freeze Berry, right? Aspire Berry. Facts. Okay, that shit doesn't exist. Assault Vest. Assault Vest is so tough! Assault Vest is so tough, my boy Slow King G. We even had an Assault Vest Toxapex era. It was crazy. But nowadays, the Assault Vest isn't that crazy. You don't see that shit that much. How many Pokemon be using the AV? I like it for the switch up though. I like it for the switch up. It's some nice occasional cheese. Sometimes you need that random ass item. I might put that shit up here. Just because you can really do some crazy stuff. Also, back in the day, Assault Vest on Pursuit Pokemon was really crazy. But Assault Vest doesn't exist much in Gen 8 outside of Slowking, if I'm not wrong. I don't think there really is other AV. Gen 9, AV came back really strong. You got AV Samurats, that's a fact. That AV Hoopa era. That AV Za. AV Tangrowth was crazy. Nah, I gotta put this shit in A. AV Tyranitar, that was a mine for the ages. AV Hatterene is cancerous. That shit's goob cancer. That shit is goob cancer. I miss those days though. The Pursuit off the AV and you run into Mega Alakazam, because Mega Alakazam guys, they think that they're unstoppable. They think, it's time I send out the Mega Zam with the hazards up and I sweep. And then your Tyranitar lives that Focus Blast. And they're tight. They're super tight. Mega Zam is on some other shit. That shit got 700 Spidef. Big Root. CTC gave me a team with Big Root back in the day. Like 2 years ago. That shit was dicks. But he's cool for that. He's cool for that. Black Glasses. Black Belt. Black Glasses is honestly super shiced. Even though it's only on one guy, that one guy goes stupid with that +2 Black Glasses Sucker Punch. It's hard to say. I would honestly put this in C, just for how tough this is on that one guy, King Gambit. That's true. That's true. It can be used on Darkrai. I forgot about that. It's pretty tough though, because it's like this shit is only on King Gambit. Who else runs this? The Darkrai shout out was true. Oh, Samurai. True. I have a Samurai team with glasses. That's a fact. That's a fact. Okay. I might put that shit right here. Glasses. All Sucker Punch guys, they be fucking with the glasses. Nah, true. D is for bad items. Alright, that's a fact. Alright, Black Belt. Black Belt is some cheese shit. Why are you, as a respectable battler, trying to confuse your opponent with weird damage rolls and only do 1.2x? How about, you have some motion and you put a choice band? All those 1.2x, 1.1x boosting items, stop being soft. Go in there, get the job done. Black belt though, I don't really know what uses it. They be using black belt probably in Gen 3. What the fuck runs black belt? Nobody runs black belt. Nobody runs that shit. Is that shit used? I feel like that shit probably used in Gen 3. They probably got some Metacham black belt type shit. Nah, black belt's for sure bad. I'm coming back to black belt. That shit's for sure fake though. Is this bright powder? Bright powder is like whatever. It's not even that good. And it's been banned. So this shit doesn't even exist. But I even think when that shit was around, that shit was not good. Cause remember that game where the ice beam missed and the guy still lost? That's burned into my brain. Nah, this shit is for sure dicks. I mean, it doesn't exist, so I'm taking it out, but nah, this shit is for sure bad. Even back in the day, it was bad. Quick Claw is pretty nasty. I won't even lie. When I was using the what's that guy, the electric fighting guy, Iron Hands, he was out of control. He was giga stupid. He was stupid with that SD in terrain. Nah, that shit was for sure funny. I don't know what this is. This is like a diploma or a certificate or a deed. This is the cell battery. I don't even know what this does. This is binding band, right? I think this item actually has a use. This is blunder policy. This shit is the most fake item of all time. This shit only exists for shice YouTube videos. Nah, this shit, nobody ever brings this and does some fire shit. Is this weakness policy? This shit might be weakness policy, right? Or is this blunder policy? Weakness policy had its era. Weaknesses below. Alright, we'll get to that when we get to that. Either way, both policies are pretty bullshit. Charcoal. You know, charcoal, I'm not even gonna cap. There was a guy who brought a charcoal Heatran versus me because I kept bringing Hippowdon. And that shit did 75 to my Hippowdon. So just for that, charcoal is not bad. Charcoal is another one of those cheese items. Why are you boosting yourself so fucking much? Fuck charcoal. It was just good versus me because I'm a Hippowdon spammer. And you know I had Big Corviknight in the back too. Matter of fact, fuck you, charcoal. Nah, I don't know. Charcoal's like a whatever move. Nah, but that charcoal trick, Torkoal, I forgot about that video. Go watch the Superior video if you haven't already. Nah, I forgot about charcoal Torkoal. That's a super fact. Nah, just for that, everybody has to like the stream. You gotta like the stream because I reminded you of that beautiful game. I would honestly put that shit in D tier. That shit gets more use than binding band, and blunder policy for sure doesn't exist. Charcoal is like on some black glasses shit, but there's no abuser of charcoal as good as King Gambit abuses black glass. The reason black glass is in C is because all the abusers are top tier Pokemon, but then also King Gambit is so top tier that it's just not even a question. All right, let's talk about some shite shit like the loaded dice. Loaded dice is a giga tough item. We see it on Dragonite and we see it on Kyurem. But what else do we see it on? That shit is mad cheap on those two. But those two still prefer to run other items all the time. So that itself lets you know that that shit is okay. Yeah, the very rare Garchomp. That shit's in B. That shit's like right here. Yeah, I gotta be honest. The dice is tough, but I think it's like at the high end of B. There's not enough Pokemon that are using this. Because even Kyurem and what's it called? Kyurem and Dragonite. You know what I'm saying? If those are using other items. Nah, Mousehold doesn't use it. Loaded dice. Mousehold uses wide lens. Because that's the way the game. It made Bax broken. No, Bax was already broken. Yeah, the more I think of this, loaded dice is not that crazy. It's like whatever. It's definitely like some low tier rock blast type shit. Oh yeah, Koraidon is a big dice user. In fact, I think of Koraidon more than I think of those other shits. That shit is so OP on Koraidon. I actually completely forgot about Koraidon. That set is so tough to fight in Ubers. And then it always has some cheap Terra. Terra Ghost, Terra Fire, Terra Steel. That shit is mad tough though. Either way, as a whole, Dice is a hot B ranking item. Dragons have their own shit. And also, you gotta completely subscribe to a specific style of the mon and the team if you're running Dice. Dice is on some offense shit. Like if you run Kyurem or Dragonite with Dice, aka like I said, the two main abusers in OU at least. Chomp's not real, so I'm not gonna talk about that. I even used the Chomp team, and that shit was Life Orb because again, you give up on a lot of things when you run Dice. Dice is only for one move. Dice is whatever. Expert Belt, B tier. When's the last time we saw an Expert Belt? You saw that Expert Belt Latios. I was still in high school when that shit was popping off. I don't know, gang. That Expert Belt, man, that shit. I used that shit in Gen 6 like 3 times. Val is super rare though. They'd rather run Boots or something like that. Expert Belt for sure fell off. I loved my Expert Belt Greninja back in the day. That's a good one. I remember that. Zama likes it. Oh, facts. I'll be running Expert Belt Zama and going stupid. Is this the Expert Belt or is the first one the Expert Belt? Which one? If I had to guess, I think it's this one, right? Let me know. But nah, Expert Belt is kind of a shiced item. Nah, this item, it really had its time, bro. It really had its time. And back in the day, when people were like, on average worse, that shit definitely was more fire because you could probably get some crazy damage bluffs on people. Nah, you never know the real shit when you kill someone with Expert Belt and then they think you're choiced. I'm not gonna lie, Expert Belt, that shit went stupid multiple generations. I gotta give it the credit it deserves. Nah, man. Shout out to Expert Belt, man. That's real fucking shit, man. That's so beautiful to me. Alright. Clear Amulet. Is that what this is? Expert Belt really used to be crazy. Now that I really think about it, people used to really run that shit all the time. Alright. Clear Amulet is good for Parting Shot. So I've seen it on Zama, and I even ran a Scizor with it, and the shit was dicks on Scizor, and it's okay on in Zama, but that shit is on some D rank shit. Then again, it could be at the ass end of C. Clear Amulet is some cheese shit. VGC loves it. Too bad this is OU. I think this shit is like, it's dead ass here. Cause even Zama, Scizor, King Gambit, running that shit is like, I mean, it's nice to not care about Intimidate though, so maybe I would put that shit like, not caring about Intimidate is pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie, but it's shiced on treads. That shit is probably shiced on treads. I don't know where I don't know if I put this behind Black Glass or not. King Gambit does a lot of heavy lifting for the Black Glass community. I'm gonna keep this here, and we'll come back to it. You also ignore webs. Oh, that's facts. Wonder, what do you think about Mr. Craw's evolution and Elite Redux? That shit's fucking amazing. I was there for when that shit dropped. First day, I had to tap in and play and get that. Shout out to Elite Redux. When 2.6 comes out, you already know I'll be streaming that. It's gonna be best game ever. Is this Chesto Berry? We gotta talk about the Chesto Berry. We gotta talk about it, man. We gotta. Is that what it is? Or am I looking at a different berry? What berry is this? I think it's a chesto berry. Facts. It is? Okay, okay. Nah, that rest chest went crazy. I've had rest chest used versus me in tournament a couple times. You could rest chest anybody. You could really rest chest anybody, man. People, this is like one of them one-off tournament techs. Like, you bring a DD rest Gyarados versus your opponent, and then they're like, man, what the fuck? Throughout the years, this used to be the one. Oh, Resto-chesto Annihilate? He used to go so stupid. Every time Rest Chest is brought in a tournament, it does something. It's not some leftover. It's not some ladder shit you can get active with all the time. It's one of them surprise joints. Even having like a Rest Rotom with a Chesto Berry is so nice. Resto-chesto Zama. Oh, that shit's OP on Zama. That shit might go here just because of Zama being cheap. All Zama does is fucking rest up. Nah, Rest Chest Zama's giga cheap, man. That shit might be A rank just because of Zama. Cause all the other mons, even in old gen, are pretty cheese. But this is a more consistent item than all the other items. So I would put it right here. Like, unless you make some giga bad plays, you're gonna get your rest off, and you're gonna get your Chesto Berry used up. So yeah, I actually completely forgot about IDF Rest Zama, which I'll be using. So that shit is nasty. Shout out to Rest Ting Lu. That shit is the most horrible thing ever to play against. Whenever I see that shit, all I can think is dishonorable samurai in front of me. Rest Ting Lu. You know what Rest Ting Lu is good for though? And this is one of the most unskillful mons to play against. Will-O-Wisp Hex Dragapult? Nah, Rest Ting Lu fucking dunks on that shit. I hate that annoying ass Dragapult with the boots on. Nah, Rest Ting Lu dunks on that guy. Shout out user225. Played my first showdown game ever recently, SV random. iPad mouse hold. I hit the Ghost Terra SD to block the population bomb. Felt super shice. That is super shice. Mouse hold is another mon that I love packing up every time I play against somebody with a mouse hold. But when I don't have Rocky Helmet, I'm not gonna lie, I've taken some mouse hold losses before. It's tough. But yeah, the Noob Killer Pult gets completely smoked by Rest Ting Lu. We need that shit. We need that shit for homeostasis. Let's see. What else is on here? Interesting. What is this? Destiny Knot? I don't know what that shit is. Dragon Fang? Nobody using no Dragon Fang. Actually, I've used Dragon Fang in tournament. I've used it on Dragapult before. Nah, I actually am a Dragon Fang enthusiast. Y'all might think I'm lying, but I actually be using this. Nah, this shit is tough. Nah. Dragon Fang is actually crazy good. Nah, people are dumb, man. Dragon Fang is real. Dragapult. I even had a Ting Lu, not Ting Lu. What's that electric Raging Bolt team with it? Nah. Dragon Fang is actually real. Make a video for Dragon Fang next week. Nah, Dragon Fang is so tough. I'll be fucking with that move. Shout out my boy Ryan for 30 months. Since you streamed Undertale years ago, would you tap in a Deltarune? It isn't exactly Undertale 2, but shares many of the same characters. It's goated. Yeah, I actually do want to play that game. I'll play that shit on stream for sure. Because I found my controller. Although the first time I played it, or Undertale rather, I played it on keyboard mouse. But yeah, I'll play it. It looks pretty fun. I'm going to play Night Rain with Joey and Swave later, probably on stream. So that shit should be funny. I hope that shit goes well. I might get packed up. Anyways, Dragon Fang is super tough. Lifetime, that shit is heat. I hope my computer can stream it. Is this a eject button? It is, right? And what is this? Eject pack? Alright, eject pack is actually pretty good. The button has been seen on every team ever. The button is dead ass on some like A rank viability. The eject button is really timeless. People have found every way in the universe to eject out. Shout out to Hator in the chat, or is it Hetor? Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for watching since 2020. You're goated. Nah, eject is cheap. I think oh man, this shit is super duper shiced. I put that shit right here. Every pussy ever brings eject button. It's always coming. Shit's cheap. Shit's super cheap. Eject button is so cheap. Eject pack, you see it a little less. But eject pack is still pretty annoying. You play some guy with a Draco, then they leave the stage. Come on, man. This is like super, super annoying. What are the most spammed eject pack mons? Who, like, what do we used to see Tusk like a year and a half ago. Eject pack Hoopa on that trick room. True. True. Deoxys is a huge one. Deoxys is the main one. Bro, this item is honestly very tough. I would put this shit like... I would honestly put this shit like tied with the dice. Even though it's not... It's super nasty on Deoxys speed. Eject pack is pretty nasty. I'll put that shit right here maybe. I'll probably put that shit right here. Eject pack was pretty good. Maybe I'll put that shit right here. Eject button, recycle, hydrapple. Like, oh, this is some crazy shit. Eject pack, Volcanion. Eject pack, Volcanion was actually pretty good with that overheat. I would agree on that one. That shit was pretty fire. That shit was really solid actually. Cause Volcanion is super strong, man. That shit is super goober strong. What is this? Electric Seed? What is this? Eviolite? Is this Eviolite? The Eviolite over time fell off, but it's still up there. Eviolite gotta be on some S rank type shit. Who are the unevolved joints that even exist anymore? That shit actually fell off. Chansey is the GOAT in Gen 6 and Gen 7. So there's a big deal there. But then after that, you can see in Generation 8, Blissey came back when them boots pulled up. Chansey completely disappeared. Chansey fell off, bruh. Nah, Eviolite was... Because Chansey used to be a stall staple. Back when boots didn't exist. But once boots pulled up, people talking about some Diplin. Nobody uses no Diplin. I've never seen Diplin in a real professional match. So it's over, bruh. Nah, Eviolite is an epic item back in the day in low tiers. And probably still in low tiers. But... Chansey was a legend in your city, right? Nah, Chansey was a legend in my city, too. In low tiers, though, Eviolite mons go stupid. Especially in old generations low tiers. Like that Eviolite Gligar. Eviolite Gligar has been unstoppable his whole life. I don't know what that shit does in Gen 9, actually. I don't know if that shit is even used, but... I would probably put Eviolite... Just because of its dominant ass reign. I would probably put it like here. Cause that shit is like an incredible part of low tiers. But even back in the day, you needed that shit on Chansey. Like, I would probably put that shit right here. Just cause of Chansey, bro. This is a Gen 9 list. Nah, this is like a OU. This is like an all OU. This is like an all OU list. Now that I think about it, because then I'd have to change where leftovers goes. Because leftovers isn't crazy in Gen 9 at all. Nobody cares about leftovers. Then I'd have to change where leftovers is. And Scarf also doesn't really. So I guess this is more of an all OU list, like lifetime list. I'll have to change the stream title after the stream, because lefties they don't be using that. We be seeing boots, you know. But the Eviolite is just for Chansey and whatever. It's a big deal. I'll put that shit here. I'll come back to it. Electric Seed. Well, electric terrain doesn't exist in Gen 9. It exists in Gen 8, but you very rarely see electric seed Pokemon in Gen 8. People don't be using Hawlucha. Gen 7, you see Hawlucha a decent amount. I myself have used a Hawlucha before. But this is one of them items where it's really just a Hawlucha thing. Like, because again, nobody brings Pincurchin and the gang. This item deadass doesn't exist unless it's Coco plus Lucha, which is a good combo in Gen 7, but Lucha itself doesn't exist in Gen 9. And if it does, facts, they be running grassy terrain. What stat does Electric Seed give? I believe it's Spadef. Electric Seed really doesn't exist. Electric Seed, maybe I shouldn't even rank this. Pre-ban Sneasler? Pre-ban Sneasler was seen on grassy. This shit doesn't even exist. It gives defense? Oh, my bad. I'll be capping. I'll come back to this trash. Let's talk about the Focus Sash. And the Focus Band, which doesn't exist. Let me just put this trash in here. Focus Band. That's a crazy item. That shit does not exist. That shit do not be existing. Focus Band do not be existing, bro. The Sash is timeless. The Stealth Rock lead with the Sash on? Damn. Nah, Sash has been in style forever. What do we see in Gen 9 that's Sash? Do we even see that shit? What is we see Hatterene Sash on Trick Room. Glamora Sash fell off. Samurai is a big one. Oh, Cerulege! Cerulege the unbeatable! Oh no! Right, Bombi? Facts. Nah, Cerulege the unbeatable. Nah. Sash might be in the meta-defining items. Because early offense always runs Sash. In every early metagame, they be Sash maxing. Oh no. Sash is for sure cheap. Sash is for sure cheap. Nah, Sash is for sure cheap. Nah, Joe, this is an all OU tiers. If it was just Gen 9, I gotta change the title. But if it was just Gen 9, then yeah, I would probably put Scarf lower. Because nobody be running Scarf. But since it's all-time OU, I had to put Scarf ahead. Because since Scarf used to have to be mandatory. But Specs is always on the greedy guys. And Specs guys don't beat Stall most of the time. So, that's why I put him at A. Except for Tapu Lele, I guess. But it gets pursued in the old days. Azelf invested in Sash stocks early. What's the most iconic Sash Pokemon? You know what the most annoying Sash Pokemon back in the day to beat was? That guy Breloom. That guy Breloom. Oh my goodness. That guy Breloom was out of control. Smeargle? Nah, Smeargle was cheap. Smeargle was super cheap. Nah, Smeargle was... Don't even talk about no Smeargle. Yeah, Sash Alakazam is a good one. Sash Alakazam is fucking OP. I used to love running Sash Alakazam. I used to see people run Life Orb Alakazam and be shocked. In Gen 5. How could you do that? How could you ever do that? Just hit all that shit, bro. Did Drill ever run Sash? Oh yeah, lead Sash Drill. We used to be all on that shit back in Gen 6. I even had a Gen 8 team with that shit. And a Gen 7 team. But it was good in Gen 6. That lead Sash Drill. Lead Sash Rocks will never go out of style. Lead Pokemon will never go out of style. For that reason, this shit might just be like right here. Maybe that's crazy. Nah, but Sash guys are actually so crazy. The Sash lead to get your field effects, that shit will never go out of style. It's just too OP. Where's Oranberry? You know Oranberry. Sash is actually too crazy. Flame Orb. Nobody be even gutsing except for Ursaluna. What else be hitting that guts? Who else be hitting that Sam Sulek? Who got guts? Obstagoon, who doesn't exist. Conkeldurr, who's super duper goober rare and doesn't even run Flame Orb. Talking about Luxray, Heracross, Machamp. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for our Flame Orb enthusiasts. This shit is only a Ursaluna item, but Ursaluna is so ridiculous with this. Flareon. Magic Guard, Clef, Trick. Yeah. And Reuniclus used Trick Flame Orb as well a few times. Flare Boost is forgotten. Ain't nobody using Flare Boost. Pupitar. I would actually put this shit like here. Lifetime. This shit is nobody using this shit. That trick Flame Orb shit does not exist. They run Trick Sticky Barb anyways. Because Burn went down. It got nerfed a while ago. Milotic Flame Orb? Nah, I be getting packed up on the 1400s by that shit. That shit got the Goob scale with that Marvel scale bullshit. Redux Machamp do be using it. I can't argue with that. Guts Heracross? That guy does not exist. Alright. It's still mad items in this bitch. King's Rock. This shit is banned. But in its prime, this shit was pretty nasty. I'm not gonna lie. My Gen 8 Machamp used it. That's a fact. Shout out my boy James in the chat. The GOAT. King's Rock was pretty crazy, but it used to be pretty nasty. Life Orb fell off hard. Life Orb used to be the fucking best item ever. Life Orb got phased out. Life Orb used to be the craziest item ever. That shit got phased out. That's crazy. I used to always run Life Orb max. I used to never run choice. I mean, I always ran like one choice, but Orb Super Giga fell off. Shit crazy. What runs Orb in Gen 9? Does anything run Orb? Can't even think. You see the rare Life Orb Dragapult. Life Orb is crazy on them sheer force guys. Facts. Orb Deoxys S. Life Orb was so weird. That shit used to be on everything. It's just weird, bro. This shit, Life Orb Za. I had a Life Orb Za team. You can run Life Orb Darkrai. You can do that shit. This shit is such a weird item. Lifetime, this shit was crazy. I used to run Orb Greninja all the time. Sash is weird. I mean, Life Orb is weird. Fuck, I don't know where to put this shit. Like, Lifetime, this shit is pretty good, bro. Like, Lifetime, Life Orb had its time. I would put that shit, like, right here, honestly. Because it doesn't even exist in generations to begin with anymore. Like, at the time it was used, but now if you go back to those generations, nobody running a Life Orb Latios, that shit used to be a defining piece. That shit is not used in no Gen 6. Life Orb mounts in general, nobody be using that shit. Life Orb fell off, man. You see that shit in DPP. Assault Vest that good? Assault Vest is like... There are some mons back in the day where Assault Vest was everything. People will always find a way to sauce with AV. I might put AV above Orb, actually. Life Orb Hydreigon was my nemesis back in the day. That must have been some strong shit. Life Orb Garchomp was my guy back in the day, though. Maybe that shit is better than AV. It's tough. I'll be using AV Hat on every team, low-key. Nah, you're definitely cheap. AV Hat Arena is the most unfair bullshit I ever be spamming. Every time I use that shit, I'm getting 1.5 kills minimum. That shit is so OP. AV Primarina, I forgot about that shit. AV Prim is one of the most annoying things to fight. AV Prim is one of them low-key cheap motherfuckers. I hate that shit. Your own Moonblast is 30% and they do 70 and you just know you're fucked. AV Pex was pretty shiced in that early Gen 9. I had a good time using that shit. Magnet. I have a team with Magnet, Kieran B. This is the same as all them charcoal shits, but that shit's probably better than charcoal. Like, barely. What is this? Muscle band? I'm actually a muscle band enthusiast. I brought it to tournament before, so I value that shit a lot. Resto-chesto runs Magnet, no cap. What is this, Lumberry? It's just the best item ever. This is one of them low-key. This is one of them low-key S-rank items. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That Lumberry be hitting. When you don't know what to run, just throw on that Lumberry, man. That shit really a S-rank item, because you be seeing that shit today. I still play against Lum Gambit, and I'm like, fuck, my Will-O-Wisp cheese didn't work. Nah, tell me you haven't been there. If you landed in the last week, you probably got packed up by Lum Gambit. That's the worst feeling when you try to burn it and cheese, and then they're fucking Lumberry, and you're like, ah, fuck. They have, ah, man. When your counter is Will-O-Wisp to Gambit? No, bitch. Lumberry back on the day in Dragonite was also so fucking annoying, because you always try to hack Dragonite or status it. Nah, you're cooked. Lum is happened today, I fear. Nah, Lum is all reliable. Lum Volcarona, yup. When they go to their Cleft T-Wave, and then it's Jove. It's Jove. Lum is such a great berry, man. Lum is really crazy. I would honestly maybe put that shit above this. Lum is super crazy. Is Lum better than Specs? Yeah, I think it is. Maybe I underrated Specs, but people really don't be spexing like that, bro. They really don't be spexing like that anymore. They be banding up, but they don't be spexing up. Maybe I could see an argument. I could see an argument. You know, I will put Specs in S because I've had some crazy wins with Specs mons before. BKC video why Life Orb sucks. I haven't seen that video, but I'm sure it explains all the reasons why Life Orb fell off over time. 10% is just too much chip to be taken, but back in the day, that shit was out of control. Chestoberry C tier? Nah, no can do. If anything, I can put that shit like here. Chesto. Because that shit is like some tournament one trick type shit. So that shit might really be here. Because you never see that shit in no consistent play. There's no mon that uses Rest consistently, and it's like a super real set. Except for Rest Sleep Talk, guys. That's different, though, than a Resto-chesto. Resto-chesto is inherently going for some cheese strategy and hoping it works. Even Rotom, they be pain splitting it up. But that Zamazenta running it is, like, super crazy. That's the one big real nuisance, the Zamazenta, which is why I had it. So now that I think about it, maybe I will keep it at the end. I'll come back for this. Power Herb, man. What a funny item. Let me move some of these up. Dude, Custap? Is this Custap? This is Custap, right? That should be looking like a Custap item. Power Herb is pretty nasty. That shit really is so OP on Kieran Black. That's what that shit really is for. Custap is one of the greatest tournament cheese items of all time. Once they know your item, though, you're cooked. But it's one of them. Yo, and then the Custap on a Araquanid, bruh. Yo, this guy's super cheap, bruh. The Custap is a time. Shout out to Sylvestron. Appreciate you, homie. Thought you were already membered up. Shout out to you, homie. Anyways, Custap Berry is timeless. I would put that shit on the same level as Air Balloon Cheese. Because you could run that shit on in old gens as well. I won a game back in the day because I had a Custap Berry Tyranitar. And it lived Excadrill's attack and then killed it with superpower because of Custap. Custap is just cheap. Shit's fun. Power Herb exists on Glamora, which nobody uses Power Herb Glim anymore. And then Kieran Black, which is really good in Gen 7. So I don't actually know where I'd put this. This is like some shit I'd put here. No, but Meteor Beam guys will always be tough. Oh, my Diancie in that video I just posted was using that shit. I fuck with Power Herb though. I might put that shit over to the Fang. Xerneas Power Herb? I forgot about Xerneas. Solar Beam Heatran? Nah, that's a real one back in the day. Meat Beam Moth? Very well said. Zern doesn't exist anymore though. Plus, this is OU through the gens. Then again though, I don't know, Power Herb is... Nah, hella go back in the day. All Meteor Beam guys be using the Power Herb. I don't know, dude. Power Herb is tough to rank. I'd still put that shit in C. Wide Lens? Wide Lens is some pussy shit. You only use this on mouse hold. If you're gonna use triple axle, bro, stand on business and just try and hit that shit. All that wide lens shit, we not doing that. Mouse hold, you need it. It's for one guy. The rest of them guys, just you gotta hit. You can't use wide lens. I would honestly put that shit here because of mouse hold, but it doesn't exist. Wide lens was spammed during the sleep era. That's facts. All that sleep powder shit was super heinous. And hypnosis. That was the big one. Hypnosis, wide lens. I was running that shit on Darkrai. Where's a tough item like Rocky Helmet? I gotta put this Rocky Helmet shit in S. Rocky Helmet is like the sauciest item of all time to put on your Scarm. That shit is so tough. You could put Rocky Helmet on anything, bro. I remember I got a couple of Gen 6 teams with Rocky Helmet Superior. Rocky Helmet Amoonguss, that's a real throwback, man. What a beautiful Pokemon, man. Helmet Ferrothorn was Demon Time. Demon Time. Helmet Lando. He's so beautiful. Rocky Helmet is the cheapest of cheap shits. Help you break down their team early. Any offense team loves the Rocky Helmet guy. It's free damage. It's free damage. Even that Helmet Dragonite was going stupid that game. I used it in that one live. Rocky Helmet Landers with that max HP, max defense. That shit's so cheap. Helmet Tornadus is mad annoying. I hated that shit back in the day. Helmet Torn in Gen 7 and Gen 8, and even in Gen 6 occasionally. But they use it more in 7 and 8. Man, that shit is so fucking annoying. Nah, Helmet is actually so cheap. I'm gonna put that shit over Boots. But Boots has only been around for 2 gens, but it's mad important. But Helmet, I'll be running that shit on Clef and Tinglu in Gen 9. Of course, on Corbin Scarm as well. But the first 2, I love running that shit on Clef. Helmet Clef is giga cheap. That shit owns Tusk. Because the Headlong doesn't 2-hit KO. Nah, that shit is cheap. Rocky Helmet Hatterene is also really good. That's a fact. I like that one a lot. Shout out Ariadne. Hello, boss. I used your very own blender policy on Iron Jugulis to win a draft league playoff match this week. It was epic. The HC always provides. Shout out to Ariadne for 31 months. You're super shush for winning. Blender policy? So did you miss the Hurricane and then win? Iron Jug is one of the most misunderstood Pokemon of all time. I'm glad it did something though. This is weakness policy. Weakness policy is actually pretty shiced. This is one of my favorite cheeses. Nobody be using this shit, but this is one of my favorite cheese strats back in the day. Nobody be using this though. You see it on Dragonite once every 400 games of Gen 6. Weakness policy Gambit Goobney before. I probably lost to that shit before too. People cheese with this shit pretty well though. Like I'd put that shit right here. Moltres Galar not bad. Weakness policy Zygarde was super Satan. I hated that shit. That shit was OP. That shit was OP as it got. The Mystic Water? Nobody be running no Mystic Water. Mystic Water is actually pretty good though. Like I would put Mystic Water. Lifetime, I'd put that shit like here. There's so many water types with Hydro Pump that I used to run Mystic Water on. But most of the time I would just run Specs like a boss. So it's tough for me to think. But Mystic Water's mad cheap. Yeah, because you can super stack on Rain. I would put that shit like above Dragon Fang. Mystic Barra. Wait, Mystic Barra was really good. I forgot about that. With the Poison Jab in the back. I might put that shit over the herb. Quick Claw. I actually think Quick Claw is pretty good. I don't think it's like OP or anything, but I think it's pretty good. Obviously, it's a hacks-based item, but I find it to be pretty valid, so I'm gonna put it up here. Because as far as like luck-based items go, this shit does pretty good. So I would put it up here. Because I did recently use it. So just when I had it on my Iron Hands, this shit was super OP and not fun for the opponent at all. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Never Melt Ice? Never Melt Ice is actually a pretty fire item. But not literally. You like my shice joke? Okay. I like this shit on Weavile. Triple Axle. I like it on Curum. Do we really be running it on other shits? Even on Curum, you see that shit now and then. You don't see it that much. Mamoswine does love this item. That's a fact. Mamoswine loves this shit. That's true. I would probably put this Lifetime above the Fang. This shit gets more use than Fang gets used. So I think that's pretty important. Red card. Oh, I hate this item. This piece of shit item. What else here is important? The Twisted Spoon. The Toxic Orb. Utility Umbrella. That shit's not real. It's White Herb. This is the ultimate scrub item. Sharp Beak. Shed Shell, right? The Shed Shell? It's a godly item. Oh, 1 second. My bad, I got a call. I'll be tight busy, you know what I'm saying? But I'm back. Sorry about that. What items were we talking about? Let me go look at what the chat was saying. Give me a second. We talking about the red card? Blunder, you fell off, fam. Cap. I rose above it. The hate. Pussy. Alright, red card. Red card's pretty funny. It's like a weird ass item. It's like mad inconsistent. We don't be seeing. What do we even see red card on? Glamora? I used to love that shit on red card Amoongus. That was everybody with no skills favorite set. Red Cardamungus. I have no skill. I used to spam the fuck out of that shit. Have them hit me and then I spore a random guy. That's game ending right there. I used to love that cheese shit. Red card Mimikyu is cheap. Facts. Red card Mew. Red card Glamora. Red card Tinglu is really nasty. Fuck. Red card is hilarious. Red card Halucha. That's nasty. Red card is actually really good. Red card Hatterene. Classic. Red card is pretty funny though. I can't lie. This move's like, this item's like mad consistent. It's just a good get out of jail card, you know? You never know. You never know when you need to cheese your way out, you know? Sometimes that red card change your damn life. The worst is Glamora. When you get red carded out and then you get brought into the dude weak to T-spikes, nah, you want to end it all, gang. You want to end it all. That's the worst shit that could have happened. That's for sure the worst shit that could have happened. Alright, what's next on the list? What are we thinking? What are we thinking? Fuck. I keep getting called and shit. I'm definitely popular. I'm super shiced. Okay. Fuck. There's so many items to look at that I didn't get to give an honest look to. Twisted Spoon. This shit is tough on Tapu Lele. What else be running that Twisted Spoon? I don't know. I don't know if anything even runs that Twisted Spoon like that. Is protective pads real or not? That shit was super real for a while. Pads used to be really, really legit in Gen 8. Nowadays, people don't really run pads. What runs pads in Gen 9 OU? Does anything run pads? Gen 8 is huge though. It's one of the best items on Kartana. It's real on Shifu in Gen 8, yeah. I guess that's that. Is this pads? What does pads look like again? Or is this some other shit? Yeah, pads is actually really amazing. That shit's one of the most, this shit doesn't even exist anymore, but in its prime, this shit is mad good. Pads Meow was a thing, oh yeah. But even heavy duty boots took precedent. I would put the shit like at the end of B. Cause pads actually doesn't even exist anymore. Nah, y'all are naming some fake pads users. Okie dokie? Samurai. What are we talking about? I don't know where I put this. I guess I'll put that shit here though. Maybe like here. Rank terrain extender? Which one is the extender? Where's full restore? That shit is in Giga S rank. That's an S+++ rank. What is this? Fairy plate? Or is this some other shit? Safety goggles. What is this, the crit button? The crit, up the crit? This is what, Silk Scarf? It's for normal moves. Heat Rock. Soft Sand. Ghost spell tag. I don't even know what the fuck this is. Snowball? What the fuck is this? I like know what this is, but I don't know what this is. Fuck. This is the Sword and the Shield from that one game, Pokemon Sword and Shield. Facts. The lagging tail, that shit is for sure whack. I used it on that one lax team. Just for that reason, I put that shit at the ass end of this. Actually, that shit's better than Binding Band. The reason I have Binding Band here is for the Sandtomb Tinglu enjoyers. What is this? Is this the Quick Claw? No. This is the crit. This is a crit claw, right? The Razor Claw. This shit that crits. That's some bullshit ass items. Metronome was broken before we found out about Protect. Metronome was the greatest item of all time before we found out you could beat it with Protect. You remember that? That was the worst. That was like 9/11. That was the saddest moment of all time, bro. That was such a tragic event when we found out that if they click Protect, it's over for Metronome, guys. It's tough out there, man. Super tough. Not easy. Spell Tag is def top 2 boosting items. I loved it on Aegislash. Spell Tag is pretty tough. I've always liked Spell Tag. Anyways, I don't know what we would do with Metronome. This shit used to be really good, but then it fell off. Like, it doesn't exist anymore. I'll have to come back to it. Sticky Barb Cleft Cheese. Is this the Sticky Barb? Sticky Barb is super shiced. What even used Metronome? So many Pokemon used Metronome. Kyurem was a big Metronome guy in Gen 8. Magearna used Metronome in Gen 7 a shit ton. On Ice Beam, T-Bolt, because you could spam them. Nah, Metronome was actually really crazy. I remember there was a Metronome Mamoswine era on Sub Mamo. Mantine in early Gen 8. Fuck. Good times. Can we talk about the Heat Rock for a second? Is this the Heat Rock or is this the Sand Rock? These are all the different rocks, right? Did I get them all? This is Icy. What's this shit? Heat or Sand? What's this pink shit? This is the Sun Rock? Okay. The Heat Rock is pretty important, even though Sun is only good in one generation versus Rain being good in mad generations. But like, this shit's mad important for Gen 9, because Sun is an actual super threat. I thought all these shits like, because Sun really doesn't exist outside of Generation 9. Don't sleep on Gen 8 Sun. Cap, I'm asleep. Nah, I'm asleep, bro. Smooth Rock is unnecessary. I'll be running Smooth Rock on some of my extra drill teams, but that shit is good in like lower tiers. Who's a better Sun user, Ninetales or Torque? It depends on your team, but I find Ninetales to be overall better because you can Encore and Healing Wish and Cheese. I used to Smooth Rock spam in Gen 8 on my Hippo Exca teams and my Tyranitar Exca on Gen 6, so I would actually give this rock like that all-time rank. Put that shit up here. Let's see. I don't know where I put this Heat Rock, man. That shit is only important in Gen 9. But that shit is so important in Gen 9. Ain't always smooth as above damp. The damp rock's whatever. Rain's not a good style. Sand is good off one Pokemon. Rain is not a good style to begin with. Except for in Gen 9. And it's equal to sand in Gen 7, I mean. You got rain in Gen 7 with the Swampert, Pelipper, but even that is, it goes even 50-50 in the sand. Otherwise, I would put all of these shit items in the same category. I just put all of these in the same category. To be honest, though, I guess you do damp rock because people cheese so much with that one rock. Is this the snow? I'll probably put this shit. Nobody even runs this because Ninetales runs light clay. But none of y'all have ever ran a real slush rush team. Y'all never had to really icy rock and then chilly reception out. So whatever, man. It's hard to rank the icy rock. That shit might be useless. Beartic is so tough. Facts. Weren't you running it in the Sea Titan video? I don't know if we were Veil or if we were Icy Rock. Maybe we were Icy Rock. I don't think we were Light Clay. Yeah. Maybe Icy Rock is actually that tough. Underexplored. Y'all are pussy. Icy Rock is underexplored. Okay. Poison Point or whatever. Poison Barb. I don't know what half of these are. This is like the Pasho Berry. Important. Rank the seeds. Okay. I gotta find all them shits. Is this one of the seeds? What the fuck is this? Where's the other ones? What is this? Okay, they all look like this. Copy. Alright, where's the last balls conglomeration? Where did I miss the last balls conglomeration? Right here. That's Jaboka Berry, S tier item. My bad. Jaboka maxing. Put the blue seed in F tier as Misty Terrain. That shit deadass doesn't exist. Except on my one Wheezing G team. Where I run Misty Terrain, X Hawlucha. That shit doesn't even exist. But that shit can exist. Electric Seed is whatever. Grassy Seed is actually cheap. That's just like a metagame defining cringe item. Back in the day. I don't even know where to put this because it doesn't exist anymore. It was such a big part of Gen 9. But Gen 8 you don't see Grassy Seed shit like that. This shit was such a big part of Gen 9 though. And we could get back to a point where them Rilla structures return. I put that shit like right here. That shit was a really big this electric terrain shit. These are some C rank items. As for Psychic Seed, I got a Hitmonlee team with a Psychic Seed in Psychic Terrain. That's about as far as I see Psychic Seed used. I really can't think what Mon be using the Psychic Seed. Like, what's actually using the shit? Hawlucha's on those teams. But Side Terrain itself doesn't even exist. And then in Generation 7 and 8, we really don't be seeing any Side Terrain Psychic Seed abuser. You know? This shit don't even exist. Shit deadass don't exist. I'll have to come back to that item. In VGC, Mandibuzz runs Psychic Seed. What does that do? That shit just turns it into the defensive god. What do you get in Side Terrain? You get defense boost or speed F boost? Speed F. I should be turning into the boss. Mandibuzz is flying though. You could still use your berry. I mean, you could still use the seed. Because the Hawlucha does it. Punching Glove. We thought this item was going to change the game. We thought everybody was going to be glove maxing. You remember that? We thought everybody was going to be punching the sky on some real shit. We thought Punching Glove was going to be the metagame defining item. That shit was nothing, bro. I can't believe that shit does not exist. Nah, bro. You guys remember this? This item really... Nah, we actually thought this item was going to be the one and only. This shit got no play. There was that Urshifu for one day, facts. I see Punching Gloves on super fraud mons. I'm talking Palmot. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm talking fake Pokemon for the most part. Damn. Punching Glove was supposed to save society. I don't think a lot of y'all understand how important it was for Punching Glove to succeed, but it didn't. It's over now. It's over. The game's over, man. That shit's over. Punching Glove is actually so not real. It's not even possible. Fuck, that shit makes no sense. Why is that shit so fake? Why is that shit so fake? Whatever. What could we... It's because there's no Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn was nasty. It was a good reason to run that. What else is like mad relevant here? What am I missing here that's super relevant and worth rating? There's got to be something on here that stands out above everything else. Where's Light Clay? Which one is that? Toxic Orb. Oh, this is Light Clay, right? Okay. Light Clay is like a S rank item in my opinion. Like, screens will never fall off. I would put this shit like right here. I think that shit is OP, honestly. Toxic Orb is probably the only one that could get to like A tier by the virtue of who gets it. Nah, I can't get that high. But actually it can get that high, because if you think about what Gliscor does in generation 5, 6, 7, and 9, it outweighs all of the Expert Belt, Red Card, and Dice users. Gliscor itself is better than all of those users combined throughout the generations. So I would honestly put this item up here just for that one guy. Because Gliscor defines all those metagames to a degree. I don't know though, because it really is just one guy that uses this. It's a tough call. Don't sleep on Breloom. That's facts. You can run Toxic or Breloom. I have a Gen 7 team with that shit. And I used to have a couple of Gen 5 teams, but I actually had a cool Breloom Gen 7 team. Spore, Sub Punch, Poison Heal. Silk Scarf. Silk Scarf is some pretty good cheese. I used to run this shit on Diggersby back in the day. +2 quick attack. Silk Scarf. That shit was hitting. What else ran Silk Scarf? I see it on like 2% of Dragonites. Probably less than 2%. What else be running that Silk Scarf? Did you do the tutorial? What tutorial? Terra Normal D Knight. Nah, that shit's so rare. Ambipom. Okay. Well, Scarf is not relevant enough then. We're talking about some other shit. Shed Shell. was very important back in the day. Shed Shell was really important for Toxapex, for Magma Storm Heatran. You see it on Skarmory, on the stall builds. But the big one was Pex, honestly. I always ran Shed Shell Toxapex. I always ran that shit. I used to love this shit. I used to love this shit a lot. I don't know where I would rank this lifetime. Probably in like B rank items, because it turns some of those guys into fucking gods, bro. I'd probably a lifetime put this shit like right here or some shit. The Shed Shell is actually so amazing. The Shed Shell is like the best item ever back in the day. That shit made all your stall teams strong. Nah, I love the Shed Shell. I might put that shit up here. That really takes me back. Terrain Extender? Which one is the Extender tool? Which one is Extender? I deadass don't know what that looks like. I forgot. It's at the bottom. Which one? Next to the potion. This? What a weird item. Extender's actually pretty nasty. I'm not gonna lie. I used to think that shit was pretty good on Rillaboom back in the day. And it's definitely viable on like all the cheese strategies. I mean, this shit is how you run terrain cheese. Pincurchin, Psychic, Terrain. This is a pretty good item in Gen 8. On Rillaboom. I'm not gonna lie. I actually value this item a good amount. I'd like put this shit above Cloak. And probably above Pads. I like that item a lot. So I gotta put it up there. What are these? What is this? What is this smiley leaf? All the weather rocks in the same tier. To be honest, these two are like actually here. Just because sun is only in one thing. But yeah, I'm putting those in C. The rain rock is too needed. Is throat spray a real enough item to be rated? Throat spray is definitely real enough. People be running that shit. Is this throat spray? Shut up, feces. 32 months? You old bitch. Throat spray is actually pretty legit. It's not like consistent, but the leaf is mirror herb. I actually like that item a lot, even though it doesn't exist anymore. Listen to Amy spitting the truth about Umbrella. What did he say? I like Umbrella on my Kyogre. I mean, not on my Kyogre, on my Blissey. For the Kyogre. I saw a guy win a very important tournament game that way. Had Blissey with the utility umbrella, and then it walled the Kyogre, which would have otherwise swept him. That shit was crazy. And I think he still had to Terra Grass to beat it or some crazy shit. Shit was taking no damage though. It was actually incredible. I'm trying to think, what do we want to... But isn't Black Glass's Gambit low-key broken? That shit is low-key broken. That's why I put that shit still pretty... I put that shit in C rank literally because of that one guy, Gambit. It was pretty hard for me to decide, to be honest. I wasn't sure what the best one was. But I was like, fuck it, this'll do. Let's see what else. You see that Snowball? I don't even know what Snowball is. That gotta be a fake item. Mental Herb has to be ranked. Is this Mental Herb? Or is this White Herb? That shit do look like a White Herb. But it could be a Mental Herb too. This could be the Mental Herb too. What is this Blue Herb? Okay, this is the mental herb. The mental herb, when do we see this shit? We see this shit on... Sometime we see it on Arachnid, like super rarely. What else do you see it on? Saw it on King Gambit one time. Shuckle? Shuckle's a big one. Shuckle might be the only one. Because of the Shuckle, I'll put that shit like right here. Or like right here, actually. Just because of Shuckle. You could use it. I remember people using Mental Herb before Custap got released. I don't remember what gen it was. But we had to wait for Custap's release. Oh, Crest runs it. Nah, y'all are spitting. It's a big item on Crest, actually. Nah, that alone, because of Trick Room teams, this alone is pretty important now, because of Trick Room teams. Crest needs that shit for Trick Room cheese. That's a fact. Deoxys defense, facts, facts. Nah, this is all well said. You're all very shiced. Well played. Let's see. What else can we add? Put that ring target in D. Is this the ring target? I don't even know what that shitty is. Citrus berry? Is this citrus? Citrus berry was very tough. I used to run that citrus all the time, man. Halucha with the citrus back in Gen 7? That was my dog. That was my dog. Citrus and Citrus Berry Scizor in Gen 9, that's my dog too. Some good ones out there. Yachi Berry needs a rank. Yachi Berry's the Wise Glass. Wise Glass is a trash item I like. Shuka Berry, this is Shuka Berry, right? I used to fuck with the Shuka Berry. I used to think that shit was the best on my Jirachi. I used to run Shuka Jirachi every game in Gen 5. That shit was so crazy. Nah, Shuka Lifetime is so consistent. I put that shit like right here. That shit is so consistent. Lifetime, the Shuka Berry always steps up to the plate. I ran Chople on my T-Tar in Gen 5, Gen 6 and Gen 7. That shit's OP. You should rank Aya Papa Berry. Which one's Aya Papa Berry? That shit, that's the most OP berry of all time. Chople Berry is which one? This one? I think. It looks like garlic. Is that so? This the Lepa Berry? Okay. This is Salagberry? Damn, that shit is a Salagberry. I've only seen the very pixelated version. Salagberry is super shice back in the day. That shit fell off over time, but was super duper shice. I used to love that shit. I like soft sand on some SD ground type shit back in the day too. This is Chople. Chople was a godly item. I put Chople like right here. Lifetime. I really liked this one. Slack looks weird, non-pixelated. I'll be thinking the same thing. That shit looks weird. Light Orb S tier. Y'all be Pikachu maxing. Pikachu's not even a real guy, bud. Pikachu's not even real. Shout out to Pikachu, man. He came a long way. But he's not a real Pokemon. We counted Ubers or should Grisius Orb be F tier? Well, unfortunately, it's 8, so I gotta head out. But we will finish this list either tomorrow morning or on like Sunday. But I finished the most of this. But I realized I gotta head out. for a little bit, because I'm gonna stream again in an hour and a half with Joey and Swave, and we gonna stream Night Rain, and that shit will be tough. Tap in if you want to see me be losing. I'm gonna need help though, because I'm bad. Alright, make sure y'all like the stream. I'll see y'all.